Becca with BJJ Girls Rule on another episode of Everyday Self-Defense, and I'm here with Amy.
Hello.
And we're at ARES Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Roseville, California, our school. So today we're gonna be talking about self-love. We're showing our favorite moves. She's gonna show her triangle and I'm gonna show, it's a surprise, so you'll see later. We're gonna talk a little bit about self-love, why we train jiu-jitsu, why you should train jiu-jitsu, and why you should join us here at ARES, of course. So it's gonna be a lot more technique than talking. So get ready, here we go. She's in this scenario, right? Typically, this would be a pretty bad place for her to be, especially because if I'm here, there's something bad going on. If I'm here over the top of her, I'm gonna be wanting to strike, possibly even choke. This puts her actually, if you train jiu-jitsu, it puts her in a really good position. So, Amy, take it away.
Like Becca was saying, it's pretty bad. However, you have lots of moves from jiu-jitsu. You have chokes here, you have arm bars. So from this situation, one of my favorite things to do is triangle. The way I like to set it up from here is I like to control their posture, make sure they're low enough. A lot of the time they'll actually start coming over, or they'll like crunch down to try to defend because I'm like pulling on stuff or whatever, which actually helps me out if they do that. However, first what I want to do is I want to get my feet, either both or one, on the hips. I like to get one foot on the bicep, and then they're kind of trying to get out of this, and whenever the timing is right or their body's in the right spot, then I go ahead and I shoot this one up above their head, and this one comes up and locks into the little leg pit, as I call it, under the knee there. And the way that you finish this is you're turning, getting your angle. You want to look inside their ear, because that keeps it really tight, or just getting that angle. And then if that's for whatever reason you have your angle, everything, they have a really small neck, that's not working, then you can also pull the head down. You go on the back of the head, kind of push your hips up, pull the head down. And that's kind of the basics of that triangle.
That's the triangle.
That's the triangle.
Oh yeah!
Now calling no gi, male master 2, blue belt, ultra heavy. Please, Emilio Casillas.
You got her! Oh my god! Hey!
Also calling juvenile blue belt, lightweight.
Yeah!
Jacob,
Double gold, baby!
please get checked in.
Lots that I can do. I can scoot away and stand up. So this is actually a really important position to know. That's not what I'm showing. My technique that I'm gonna do today is a sweep. I really love playing with the sleeve, and I can do with a sleeve in gi jiu-jitsu, but it's also applicable to if somebody's wearing a jacket, a sweater, sweatshirt. All right, so we're in a situation where the bad guy's kind of hanging over you. In this situation, if somebody is untrained, this position, if they're weight over you, it's gonna be actually better for you and worse for them, and you'll see why. So, bad guy's hanging over me, wants to punch me, wants to hit me. I'm going to grab sleeves, if it is a jacket, if it is a sweatshirt situation. We're also gonna do this in no gi, so no worries if they're wearing no shirt at all, we can still do it. So I'm gonna block the arm so that the assailant is not able to hit me, blocking off the arms with my knees. My feet are planted firmly in the hips and I'm pulling up sleeve. This person is hovering their weight over me and I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I'm gonna push up, and I could just carry Miss Amy right here, right now. Look at no hands. Or I could do my sweep. I grab sleeves, push into the hip. Boom, land on top. Push at the hips, pull at the arms.
In a self-defense scenario, you can throw the assailant, use your butt scoot and a technical stand up to get up and run away. Be sure to always call 911 and file a report after a violent event. Get wrist control, push into the hips. As their weight comes over you, push their hands away, roll towards your shoulder, back up, scoot away, stand up, hands up defensively, run, and call 911.
Keep that arm.
Stay past that foot. Keep that foot trapped. Now past the knee. Slide your knee. Get in there. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Now
Women
grit.
gi
Wrist to
blue,
your left.
master,
Wrist to your left.
like
Upper
feather.
ankle. Wrist to your left.
Second place today, Heather Zapp. And our champion, Hope Howell.
So now you've seen mine and Amy's favorite move. Are you willing to step on the mat? Are you willing to challenge yourself that way? I couldn't even do a basic cartwheel, guys. If you love yourself enough, like that's where the self-defense starts, right? We need more self-love. Amy just brought this to me today. She's the sweetest. And it's just perfectly fitting because self-defense begins and ends with yourself. How much do you love yourself? How much do you value yourself? What worth do you place on your life? And are you going to defend yourself should the situation warrant it?
Yeah.
So Amy's gonna give a little bit of her story and background of how she got started and why she loves triangle and how that developed.
So yeah, basically, I mean, when I was first coming into jiu-jitsu, I was originally looking for judo because just wanted somebody to throw me. I thought it would be fun.
She loves getting thrown.
And that whole over the head thing, I was having a blast while she was showing that because I just love it. So I was looking for that. However, at the time, like the only place I could find was pretty far away from me and in driving situations that I didn't want to be in. So in my little Google search, I found jiu-jitsu. I didn't know what I was looking at, so I figured, oh, they both start with J, maybe they're the same. So I tried it out. You know, I called and I was like, do you have any beginners classes? And the instructor was just like, well, we kind of throw you in with everyone. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna die. Sounds great. And so then by the first time I fell in love with it and I wanted to go the next day. My friend couldn't come for a week later, so the second time was kind of the big push for me because that was when I came in alone on that second class. And I was like, that was scary. I was sitting there, I always remember, I'm sitting there watching everyone line up, and at the first school that I went to was like School of Giants. Like everybody was at least 2 times bigger than me. And so I'm watching all these huge buff guys like line up at the door, and I'm sitting in my car and I'm like, this is the night I'm gonna die. All right. And I was just like, I took a sip of water and I was just like, let's do it. And I didn't die. It was so amazing.
She's still here.
I'm still here.
She's got a purple belt, guys. Look at that.
Yeah, but so that's kind of how I got into it. Like day one, I was like, this is really interesting. I want to do this. Like, I don't know if I can or if I'll ever be good at it, but I know that I want to do this like forever.
And how many competitions now?
Oh my gosh. That's a whole other thing. Like, I did not think I was going to compete. When I first started training, like, I didn't even know if I was going to be doing it consistently, let alone competing. I was like, no, I'm never going to compete. You know, actually, Becca was like one of the influences on that. She's like, well, you know, like just to see, like, because she mentioned something really good, which is actually something really good to think about, is it puts you as close to possible in a dangerous situation where you're going to kick in that fight or flight instinct without you actually being in danger.
That is the truth.
As much as I try to stay on top, it just doesn't happen. And so I end up getting put on my back a lot. So I had to learn to work from there. Also, another thing that helped me, this is gonna sound like my teammates are mean, but they're not. So it's getting smashed a bunch. I learned to defend that, like, because my body got sick of getting smashed and getting black eyes just from shoulder pressure. Honestly, like, when I first started training at one point, I had 2 black eyes, and that was just, nobody hit me, nobody took a knee to the face, it wasn't any of that, it was literally just shoulder pressure from a really good crossface. It happens. And so I learned to, my body was like, you know, I don't like that. And so my guard started getting good. And then I learned, okay, what can I do from this guard? So I was asking anybody that put me in a situation where, like, I was in their guard and they would do like triangles on me or arm bars. I would, every single time somebody submitted me, I would ask them, which was really good. Like, I mean, that's like a really good, if you're starting training, like, ask your partners how they're doing things, because they are, like, 99.9% of the time, they are more than happy to explain and share, and they probably feel honored that you're even asking. At least I do. If somebody asks me, like, hey, how did you do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, wow, they like what I did.
100%.
So, totally. Like, we always, like, jiu-jitsu is typically, I mean, it's a community where we want to help each other. We want to see each other grow. We want to see you do the best. We want to see you okay out there. And if we don't want you to be put in a situation where you have to use it, but if you are, we definitely want you to be able to survive.
Yeah.
That is kind of where my guard got good, and then I started looking at what can I do from here to actually, because, okay, that's great, they can't pass my guard, but what am I really doing? So that's kind of where the triangle came in, and my legs tend to be a little bit longer. I've always had long legs, and so that helps with the triangle too. If you have long legs, it just kind of, your body type, like, it works. You can really tighten it a lot more. You can get that full, like, cross, like, you can get that full over here. Like, sometimes if your legs are shorter, you can get here, and there's ways to finish the triangle from there too. There's always, like, variations, which is what's great about jiu-jitsu too. But I can really lock it in really well. I'm pretty good at angling myself, so it just kind of became my thing, and it tended to be where I would finish, like, if I was going to get a submission, which didn't happen for a long time, but if I was going to get a submission, it was going to be the triangle.
Smaller in jiu-jitsu does not equate to weaker,
No.
by any means. I have seen this girl put many a gigantic man, and even myself, into this triangle position where, you know, once you're there, it may look like, oh, I'll just pick her up and body slam her, whatever. It might look like that, but it's not so easy to pick somebody up. You know, you're getting strangled. It's not that easy when you can't breathe to pick somebody up and body slam them.
Especially if you split that leg and they can't stand.
Yeah, if you hook that leg and they can't get up, how are you gonna body slam me? Let's be real. So I've seen Amy do this and pull this off in class, in competition. It's a really strong move. So if you like what you're seeing, you guys come on out to ARES Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Come and train with us. Put your questions in the comment section. If you like this content, hit like, share, subscribe. Please check out the description below. I teach women's class every Friday morning here at ARES Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Roseville, California. Every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Manny Moreno teaches Monday mornings. Check us out.
Or if you have children and you want to bring them in, I assist with those classes.
He teaches the children's classes with Coach Manny and Coach Chewy. You guys come on out and try a class. You can have 2 classes for free. Why not, right? I mean, neither of us knew what we were doing when we got started, so no big deal.
I was a mess. I'm just gonna say that. A mess.
I made her take a selfie, and I was like, please don't leave, because I wanted another girl to train with. Like, it was ridiculous. We have a lot of women now, but when we started, it was sometimes we were the only girls in class.
Most of the time, actually.
Yeah. That's why we were like training partners every time, because we were like 2 of the only women. Teaching Everyday Self-Defense with Becca
and Amy.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and come on and train. You have been watching Everyday Self-Defense, a BJJ Girls Rule production. Today we talked about loving yourself enough. And if there's anything I can leave you with, it's this one thought. You are priceless and irreplaceable. Yes, you watching this video. If you're watching, I hope you take with you today that your life is worth saving. Please do anything and everything you can to keep yourself safe and live a happy and healthy life. Happy Valentine's Day, and thank you for watching. Until next time.